Shalom, 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 and welcome back to another episode here at Israelite Talk TV, one of the number one platforms where what? You don't get no paid media. Okay. Thank you. Now, this morning, family, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure this audio is right. Okay. All right. So anyway, today, family, you guys see the title. That's right. We're going to be talking about the Oblock trial, right? It's one of the top cases, high profile cases that's going on in Chicago. All of the arguments have ended and the verdict is out. They should have already started already. I believe it was like 9 o'clock. They were going to start back deliberating. So I say by the end of today, I would say for sure by tomorrow, Friday. They like to try to do this stuff before the weekend and things like that. So I say for sure by tomorrow night, we should have the verdict should be in. Okay. Um, we've listened to a lot of these YouTubers speak on the LBG Duck case. Okay. We watched the truth tellers, the DJUs, the Trenches New, everybody that's been reporting on the case. Dirty Red over there with LBG Studio 3, right? This is his channel, and we're going to be going to that here in a little bit. But we've listened to everybody speak on this Oblock case, right? And what has happened and who did this and who did that. And as you guys see the title, okay, my thoughts is there should be a not guilty verdict. Now, I see we chiming in into the let me chime in into the chat real quick, right? And as y'all come in, man, drop some in the chat. Let me know where y'all checking in from. Shout out your city and town. Now we have a guy here, right? Jamal 7 Israel. Okay. And it sounds like you're Israelite or whatever the case may be. Okay. And he has a statement. Okay. And it's on the screen. And he goes on to say, to act like you're a man of God, you sure are a fan of murderers and street gangs. Let's see if you pull out any scripture in your video from the New Testament. A verdict has not been reached yet. Okay, is his statement, right? Well, let's speak on it, right? First off, you have been indoctrinated by the church. Okay, you follow dummy doctrine. When I hear you talk about the New Testament, which is fake and phony, and I could shred that in less than 5 minutes, okay? The garbage that y'all following, okay? What I follow is Tanakh, okay? Strictly what you guys call Old Testament, right? And what Tanakh teaches us is an eye for an eye. There are laws in Tanakh, okay? When we go into the book of the law, the 5 books of Moses, there are laws speaking on murder. And Tanakh teaches us that it's an eye for an eye. Meaning that if you go out here and you kill somebody and somebody get back, that's perfectly in line with what Yah has stated. Damn what America talking about. They want to have people locked up so that they can make money off of them. But according to Tanakh, people were supposed to be put to death for murder. And see, if they followed those rules and didn't give out all these rewards, a lot of these issues would not be going on here in America, but they don't follow Tanakh. Okay. Y'all spoke about how if somebody was murdered, the person that killed that person was supposed to go to a sanctuary city, basically go on the run. Like, how we do, like when people kill somebody, whatever the case may be, and they go on the run, then that's what Tanakh tell you supposed to do. And you were supposed to do that until what? Until the high priest of that time died. Okay. So everything I'm talking, Playboy, is biblical. Okay. Y'all are the ones that's believing in fantasy and fairy tales. Everything that's happening is right in alignment with Yah. When you go out here and you kill somebody and you can get back, it's just like the trial brought out that they said that K.I. killed. You know what I'm saying? And then she got gunned down. Okay. And then eventually Vaughn lost his life. So Yah is in control of all of this stuff that's going on. And people got to get back to what the book teach. So all this talk about this and that. And then let me say this. I come from the streets. I come from that. Okay. And it is my job to instruct the people that's part of that stuff not to get involved in it before it happened. Because here's the deal, right? And this is my position on this whole LBG Duck case. Duck wasn't no saint. We can go look at his videos. We could go look at all of this stuff. If Duck was a college student that just got killed by some random gang members, it would be a whole different subject. It would be a whole different feeling. How do you get involved in something? And then you're provoking and promoting this beef. And then when you get the belt put on you, now you run into the police and hey, save us and lock these guys up and do all of this stuff. Why didn't they go to the police before Duck lost his life? And said, well, hey, why don't you talk to them and see if you could, you know what I'm saying? So we got to stop being hypocrites and we got to keep it a sleeve, man. And this is what we do over here on Israelite Talk TV. So Jamal, what you talking about is irrelevant, okay? Straight like that. So, shout out to everybody that's checking in, you know what I'm saying? Now, let's get down through there, right? Why am I saying that there should be a not guilty verdict in the FBG Duck case? Okay, it's because the government did not prove its case. They did not prove RICO. Okay, they did not prove RICO. Now we're going to Exhibit 1. We're getting ready to just get right to it. Okay, now let me get this added. Boom. Now, family, check this out right here. Okay, and I'm gonna blow this up. Now, here's an article that was put out by Channel 7, right? ABC. It was put out on October 13th, 2021, right? And it says FBG Duck death, 5 charge in Gold Coast shooting of rapper, right? Now, what I want you guys to understand, right? And let's break this down. Right here, okay, is what I want to zero in on. And let me highlight this. It goes on to say, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois said that the 5 suspects are members of the Oblock street gang. The reason, listen to this, the reason, right? That this is charged federally, okay, is that we were able to establish evidence that there was a racketeering enterprise here that was involved, and this murder was done in furtherance of that. Okay, so let's just break this down. This right here, family, is the original reason why they were charged. They said that it's going federal. Okay, so what people got to understand is that people get killed in Chicago every single day. Every day. And those cases don't go federal. Okay. It's just regular murder cases, and they should have been fighting that in Cook County. Okay. Now, the reason that the feds picked up, because they said that they could prove that it was racketeering and that murder was a furtherance of that enterprise. Okay. Which they did not prove. Okay. They didn't prove that. Now, the Chicago Times just put out a article yesterday, okay, late yesterday afternoon, around 5 or 6 o'clock. We're going to go through that. But here's the deal. Everybody weighing in, saying what they got to say. But a lot of these people have not been through that system. I've been through that federal system, okay? I had to fight for my life through that system. So a lot of these bloggers, they just talking, okay? They just talking. I done been through that. I know the whole play, know how I go down, know what it is, and had to fight for my life. There was a case that I had that if I would have been convicted of it, I'd still be locked up in the feds right now doing time. Okay. So I'm speaking on what I know. A lot of these people are just, well, the feds, this and that. So the bottom line is they did not prove RICO. The thing that messed that case up, right? There's a few elements that messed the case up. THTZ is the most critical point in the most his position in this case pretty much damaged the federal government's case in their argument. Why? If you guys understand, THFTZ wasn't originally locked up when the Oblock 5 had originally got locked up. What the government set out to do was to paint King Von as the leader of this Oblock gang that's running this criminal enterprise. He went and bought chains for everybody. He did this and that. Da, 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 da. He's the head of this street gang, and he basically had $100,000 hit on Duck. And basically he got spotted down there, and then they sent the Oblock 5 down there, and they basically killed Duck. This was their narrative. This is why they picked the case up, and this is what they was planning to prove, that this is where the RICO come from. Now they didn't prove that. As the case is over with, we've heard all the arguments from both sides. King Von is not brought up anywhere in nothing. The only thing that they have Von tied to is rumors. It's hearsay. There was nobody that took that stand that said that they heard Von tell whatever the guys may be that, hey, I got 100,000 on Duck Head. Y'all go take him up out of there. Go down here and do this hit and da 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 da. None of that. They spoke about King Von, but King Von is tied nowhere. There was no calls made to King Von when this murder happened. The call was made to D-Thing. And as sad as this may sound, okay, if D-Thing don't lose his life at that club, he would be locked up right now fighting for his life. And even if Von was here, Von wouldn't be locked because they have nothing tying Von to none of that, to that murder. There's nothing tying Von to that murder. We heard no evidence on that. So if this is a criminal enterprise and he's the leader, where does he fit in at? Where do Von fit in at on this? It doesn't work. THF Teasy and his baby mama, in my opinion, messed the case up. Why? Because we listened to what the guy that recorded THF Teasy said. They said he was on the phone. They basically painted the picture that this was more like some love-hate relationship type stuff, nothing to do with a hit. Okay. Now I'm going to play a clip from FBG North. Shout out to the Israelite, man. Shout out to the Israelite, right? Okay. Shout out Hebrew. Now I want you to listen to what this brother had to say, right? Now, this is a video that he just put out. When did he put this out? He put this out about 4 weeks ago, right? And it's a video titled Oblock 5 Defendants and FBG Duck Set Up Lied to by THF Teasy, right? Go check out his page. Okay. Once again, shout out to the Hebrew, right? Now, listen to what he had to say on here, family. Okay. Listen to what he had to say.
C-Thing, Muwap, all them was looking at Ralph T like, you bitch ass nigga, you sent us off. You feel me? Cause so now y'all know it was never a planned hit. It was never a planned hit. This nigga Ralph
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. So what this brother is saying out of his own mouth, I ain't putting no words in his mouth. I'm taking you right to the source. He stated that it was not a planned hit. So if it's not a planned hit, then there's no RICO. From what was brought out in that case, right? It's showing that Teasy had an issue with Duck over his baby mama. It had nothing to do with no hit. So if it has nothing to do with no hit, then the narrative with King Von, this is why the prosecutor was like, y'all bringing all this stuff. I mean, this is why the defendants was saying like, well, y'all bringing all this stuff in here. This ain't got nothing to do with the case that's going on. What was the point of talking about King Von and all of this stuff if he has nothing to do with it? There was no calls made to King Von. The call they said was made to D-Thing. Now, something else that I'm getting ready to break out that I didn't hear the blogger speak about, but the Chicago Sun-Times, spoke on it, right? Now, let's get over here. And we're going to look at this article, right? And once again, this is an article put out by the Chicago Sun-Times yesterday, right? At 5:22 p.m. Now, listen to what they have to say concerning the case. It says that the jury of 5 men and 7 women were sent out to begin deliberations around 5:15 p.m. Wednesday. The jurors left by 6 p.m. and were set to resume Thursday morning. So right now they're in the downtown deliberating on this particular case, right? Now listen to this right here. Something that I want to zero in It says prosecutors allege that Duck, real name Carlton Weekly, was killed during a years-long gang war between Oblock and Tuckerville factions of the Gangster Disciples, he claimed. In closing out Wednesday, Assistant U.S. Attorney Jason Julian noted that the testimony has shown Oblock was an organized crew that held meetings, collected cash from its members, and disciplined those who ran afoul of his rules. Um, so then it goes on to say all the defendants are charged with murder in aid of racketeering and conspiring to kill Duck, except for Turpin. The defendants face 5 additional counts for using firearms to carry out the killing and wounding 2 others in the attack. So right here, family, this wasn't proved. How were they charged with racketeering? And the guy Turpin, which called him down there, which they have on tape, was basically saying, now people say he was lying or whatever the case may be, but we're looking at the raw footage, and the footage is telling us that he was basically saying that the guys pulled guns and stuff on him. It was had drew down on him. So this is something that's totally different than somebody being paid to hit. He didn't just say, okay, we spotted Duck down here, man. Hey, y'all come down here and come get him. Woo, woo, woo. No. There was issues that was going on with him and with Duck over the baby mama. So how can they remove him out of there and not charge him with that? But then they're gonna charge the Oblock, but the Oblock was called down, and the person that they trying to say was the head of the guy wasn't even involved in it whatsoever. No calls was made to Vaughn. Vaughn is not mentioned in none of that stuff outside of them trying to paint the picture that he was the leader and was over all of this stuff. Okay. Now, this is what I want to look at right here, okay? Because this starts to get good. It says prosecutors allege Turpin spotted Doc in a children's clothing store. Oakland made a faithful call that ultimately summoned 2 cars to the Swanky shopping district, was gunned down. Okay, now listen right here, family. Listen to what it's saying right here. But Turpin's lawyer, Patrick Boyle, argued there's no evidence that the call happened, knowing that authorities never got a search warrant for Turpin's cell phone. So once again, family, okay, let's talk about it. If they didn't get the warrant to search his phone, how are they saying that he made this call to D thing and did all this stuff and they never got a warrant to search his phone? This is wild. So his attorney is saying that there was never any search warrant to search his phone. None of this was verified. So why wouldn't the feds verify this if they're bringing this RICO case on them and they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's like these people had their mind set on what they was going to do and how they wanted to do it. Okay. The proof is showing that the lawyer is saying that they never got a warrant to do that. Okay. They never got a warrant to search his phone. So they never proved that was what they're saying. It says Turpin, however, was caught on a video shortly before the shooting, telling people on the phone that he saw Duck and had people on their way after the shooting. Okay. It says, now listen to this right here, fam. This is what I want you guys to understand. It says, with the government's case hinging on proving that Oblock is a criminal enterprise, Boyd said there's no evidence to prove the claim that Turpin is a member of the gang faction that's clicked up with Oblock. Boyd said Turpin had moved on and was no longer involved in the street life. So once again, family, this is, and so people say, well, they didn't really say anything about because they're not worried about the murder. The case in which it went federal is the R.I.C.O, and they never proved the R.I.C.O and that it was a criminal enterprise. Okay. Now listen to this, right? It says Robertson attorney Cheryl Boardman said the most problematic part of the government's case against her client is that he was trying to maintain or increase his position in Oblock by serving as a driver. Boardman noted that he was a member of a different crew and insisted that there's nothing substantive to show his connection to Oblock. Okay. Right. She says at the same time, she acknowledged that he and Liggins are friends and that his family members have lived in Parkway Gardens, the sprawling Southside housing complex that's also known as Oblock and allegedly serves as the faction's power base. Okay. It says right here, if he doesn't have a position in Oblock, he can neither increase or maintain it, Borman said of Robertson, who also has a pending murder case in Cook County Court. Okay. Now listen to this right here, family. I think this right here. Hold on, let me see. It says Robert faces a mountain of evidence in Duck's murder. His car's path from Parkway Garden to Old Block was tracked by city cameras, license plate readers. He texted witness he was on Duck. Both about killing. It says a shell casing linked to the shooting was recovered from the car. Now listen to this right here, family. This right here is that, and I didn't hear anybody, especially the people that was at the thing, speak about this. It says a lawyer for Alford, the other alleged getaway driver, pointed out to the video footage at Parkway Gardens. Now I want you guys to listen to this right here. It says that's being used to identify many of the suspects. Attorney Richard Clean noted that the footage jumps for roughly 4 minutes as Offer is getting into his car, arguing that there's no indication Offer actually drove away in it. Okay? Oh man, it's getting good. So what the lawyer is saying is that this footage that everybody's talking about, oh, they're done. They got footage of them doing this and doing this and doing that. The lawyer is saying that the video jumped, meaning that there's some footage that's missing. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Okay, let's bring that back up. It said, now listen to this, fam. It says Attorney Richard Clean noted that the footage jumps for roughly 4 minutes as Alford is getting into the car, arguing there's no evidence indication Alford actually drove away in it. Oh, and now listen to this, family. Listen to this right here. Oh my goodness. Listen to this. It said Clean suggested that Alford's cousin, Ezel Rawls, actually drove the car based on the light color sweatshirt he was wearing at the housing complex. Clean claimed that the city-owned camera showed the driver was wearing a similar-looking sweatshirt around the time of the shooting. So why in all these updates that we hearing from everybody that's supposed to be in the court that we don't hear none of this? They saying that tape jumped for 4 minutes, meaning that what happened in between the 4 minutes of the time that basically y'all trying to patch some stuff together. Come on, man. It's rules to this thing. They're saying that it was other people out there that had the same hoodie on. So how you gonna say he was the driver and then the lawyer's saying that his cousin Ezel had the same hoodie on? So all the people, well, they showed this and that and they went up there. Why they didn't report that? Okay, let's talk about it. You see what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Why is it the lawyer is saying that the video jumped and we ain't heard none of this? Everybody been pushing all these narratives, but we never heard that. We never heard that. Okay. So the sometimes is saying that there was somebody else that had the same stuff on. This is why I'm telling you, family. This is why it should be at minimum a mistrial. Minimum a mistrial. Because they saying that the footage is faulty. Listen what they said, fam. That I'm not saying it. I'm reading it straight from the Sometimes. Y'all can go right online and read it. It says a lawyer for Alford, the other alleged getaway driver, pointed to the video footage at Parkway Gardens that's being used to identify many of the suspects. So the same footage that they're using to identify the suspects, Attorney Richard King noted that the footage jumps for roughly 4 minutes as Alford is getting into the car, arguing that there's no indication Alford actually drove away in that. So why didn't they tell us that in none of these updates that we getting from these bloggers? Clean suggested that Alford's cousin, Ezel Rawls, and this is what lawyers do. It ain't that they trying to, what they're saying is y'all trying to charge them, but it's two people that got the same hoodie on. It said Clean suggested that Alford's cousin, Ezel Rawls, actually drove the car based on the light color sweatshirt he's seen wearing in a housing complex. Clean claimed the city-owned camera showed the driver was wearing a similar-looking sweatshirt around the time of the shoot. Come on, man. And these bloggers just come to y'all and, oh, they got all this evidence, they got all this and that. But the lawyer said that the damn footage is skipping. Where them 4 minutes at? That's a long time. Okay? Listen to this right here. Witnesses testify that Offer returned his Ford Fusion to a suburban car dealership shortly after the shooting. Offer's child's mother testified that she picked him up from a dealership along with Ross and a person she said she assumed was smart. Who she assumed she couldn't so basically, if she says she assumed, she basically said, I really don't know, but I guess that's who it is. You know what I'm saying? It says Ross later on took his own life, prosecutors have said. Now listen to this right here. Okay. Defense lawyers have insisted there's no forensic evidence to prove the defendants were on Oak Street. And they criticized the identification made from the surveillance footage at Parkway Gardens while seizing on the poor video quality and skips in footage. How can this case be anything less than a mistrial? Where the hell them damn 4 minutes at? Where the hell's those 4 minutes at that the stuff jumped? You got to explain that. Where that footage at? Because these are critical points. And even if they lose in court, they coming back on appeal. You better know it. Because where those 4 minutes at? When you're talking about people's life, you got to be for show on that, man. And they ain't for show on it, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't for show on it. They missing 4 minutes of that footage. Okay. Where it's at is what we need to know. Okay. Now, graphs. Let's keep going here. Okay. It says, now listen to this right here. Now, family. Now, this right here is crazy. It says the lawyer have also slammed the troubled testimony of gang members who were used to identify the suspects to help prove Oblock is an enterprise, noting that some were paid, and listen to this, and offered leniency. That includes Martell Trench's News, Wiley, and Rakeem FBG Butter Wilton, YouTubers who turned the trial into an embarrassing spectacle, right? And this is another reason why it should be a mistrial in this case. Because, family, let me explain something to you. Now, the Sun-Times just said, and they mentioned FBG Butter name in that, okay? They said that they were paid and they was offered leniency on the case. And they put Butter name in it, meaning that he got some leniency according to what the Sun-Times is reporting. So basically, what LBG Butter, Trench's News did, right? Excuse me. And more so Trench's News, because we know for sure he got paid. They basically doubled back and tried to get the money from the government and then turn around and monetize off of YouTube talking about this stuff. But the thing that, and I don't know, I wasn't at the trial. I don't know everything that the lawyers did, but what the lawyers should have did is that these witnesses' testimonies are troublesome because, number one, they shouldn't be used in court because they've already blogged on this stuff and spoke on different things, and those stories didn't add up. We know that LBG Butter switched up his story. First, he was saying Vine didn't do it, and then all of a sudden, he said Vine did it. But then the question we got to ask ourselves is, what was Butter doing down there anyway? Because, I mean, to my knowledge, he was locked up when that stuff happened. So there's no need to talk to the police. What, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't there. You weren't involved in that. So all of this stuff is madness. They turned it into a spectacle. They was blogging on this stuff, speaking about it, knowing that they were government witnesses. All of that hurt the case. I can't see nothing at minimum but a mistrial in this case. Okay. Really should be a not guilty verdict because they just told you that they didn't prove none of this stuff. They don't have family. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Listen to this right here. The proof doesn't know what happened. The proof doesn't know what happened on that street, Clean said. The bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence is not sufficient to convict beyond a reasonable doubt. It says, after pushing back on various defense arguments, Julian offered a different perspective. The only verdict that's consistent with the evidence is found of the defendant guilty of murder. Okay. And this is coming from the Chicago Times right here, article that was just put out yesterday. Okay. So they gave us a few little nuggets in there. The bottom line is this, fam. This is the bottom line. Typically in cases like this, right, they target the drivers, people that typically play a minimum role in it to get them to roll over on the people that actually did the shooting. To my knowledge, None of those guys took pleas. None of those guys told on each other and said, yeah, he was the one that did it or whatever the case may be. You don't have that. Okay. You don't have the murder weapon. Um, you don't really have any witnesses identifying saying, okay, this is him and this is the person that actually shot and did this and that. Okay. There's just a lot of stuff that's missing in this case. Um, the THFTZ part of this whole case, in my opinion, is the biggest problem because his story shows that this was not any type of planned hit. It's showing that it was some shit over his baby mama. Okay. He was mad at Duck because he was messing with his baby mama and he called. They said he lied, that nobody put any guns out, but the witnesses that was there did testify that it happened, even though they said that there's no footage and none on it. They're saying that it happened. Okay. So at the end of the day, family, a lot of the stuff that's needed to convict. And then now there's the lawyer, what we just read, because I never heard this on none of these platforms from none of these bloggers about this footage. They kept saying, oh, they got the footage. They got the footage. They're showing this and that. They done. But according to what we just read in the Chicago Sun-Times, they just told us that there's 4 minutes missing of that footage. Where those 4 minutes at? That right there is going to be problematic in itself. Okay. So all of this stuff that they're saying, in my opinion, they should have just left this stuff in the streets. The other thing is that who is the ringleader on this case? Y'all saying King Von is the hit, but he's not tied to the case in no way. There's no reason he should have even been brought in the case because there's no phone calls to him. There's nobody saying that he collected and took all this money that they claim came from this racketeering. Typically, when the feds have a racketeering cases and stuff like that going on, they're doing investigations and they're watching. They already got you before they come get you. On this case, they work backwards. People went to the FBI and, man, you need to pick this case up, and then kind of find out it was just a big charade. Okay. So at the end of the day, fam, it's just this could be a case where they just say, man, not guilty, because they should be charged. They should be granted a verdict of not guilty because the RICO is not holding up. Where's the money at? The only person that has a lawyer, to my knowledge, is Muwap. And of course, we know Muwap rapped and had, saying money and stuff coming in like that. But where's the money at? Those guys got public defenders. That's not showing that these guys are running some racketeering ring and they got all this big money and where the money at? Where's the transactions from the bank account? Where's the money? Where's the stuff at? You didn't seize anything. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and then listen, check this out, right? They're saying that Oblock is a criminal enterprise. Now, according to the Icebox guy that took the stand, he claimed that King Von bought 16 chains. So why is it only 5 people? If this is a big gang organization, why is it only those 5 locked up? Okay, plus 1, but he's not part of Oblock. Where is everybody else at? If he bought 16 chains, where the rest of these people at? And why weren't they locked up if all these people were involved in racketeering and all of this stuff? It's just a weak case with the feds. And I know that people want to see these people locked up or whatever the case may be, but hey, this is street stuff. You got, okay, we ain't gonna act like these people ain't gang members on the other side neither. So they got members. Why they can't take care of the stuff in the streets? It's just, man, it just needs to stay there, man. It's just a waste of time, a waste of the people money. And like I said, even if they do find them guilty, it's not gonna matter. They're coming home on appeal. They don't have enough evidence. You got a lot of people that's lying. You got people that didn't want to get on the stand and tell what's happened. Like family, let's keep it a sleeve, right? If I'm a juror and I'm sitting in the jury, right? And because as they said, when they brought FBG Butter on, he act like he didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Didn't what he had already told the police. So if I'm a juror and I'm sitting on there, why would I take somebody's testimony like that and think that it's credible when why would you have to go through all that just to tell the truth on what's going on? That means that there's some line or some other stuff that's going on because you shouldn't have to be forced to do this. If you already talked to the police and said that, you should be able to just come get on the stand and say this was going on. So what is it? Family, it's crazy, man. This case is crazy, man. And I just had to speak on it, man, because one of the things that I offer is we just keep it a sleeve over here, man. I'm not on either side. I'm not on OTF side. I ain't on FBG side. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they got going on, that's with them. If they have anything going on, that has nothing to do with me. My thing is to report on the news and give you point by point what's going on. There's rules within the federal government. You can't just say, well, we think and we know this and that. They just gonna be found guilty. No, you gotta have there's evidence, there's procedures and rules and stuff you gotta follow. You know what I'm saying? This case has been a family. It's just been a big dog and pony show. If these people know that they were government witnesses, they should have never been online speaking on this case. How can you be online speaking on this case, pushing narratives, and you're a witness? It should be throughout on grounds of that. These supposed to be the star witnesses. Family, this is madness, man. This is madness, man. It's me said that I think it should be a mistrial too, fam. Exactly, man. They didn't prove it. And my thing is I'm not no fan of the government. I just believe that because here's the deal, fam. And I'm gonna just say it like this. Don't wait till stuff happen and say, oh, well, I won't just no, you got to get in front of that stuff. Okay. If you want to be in the streets, follow the street rules. If you want to follow y'all's commandment and be on the right side, be on that side. But you can't play the 50. You can't say I'm in the streets and then something happened and then you want to get before the people, act like you righteous and we need justice. No. Justice has been served. Justice has been served. Okay. It's me also want to say, right, it's not clear and it's tampered with. Exactly. There's rules to court proceedings and stuff like that. You can't just convict people on stuff. Like, fam, this case just was messy. Anytime you got witnesses sitting on here blogging, speaking on this stuff, pushing narratives, changing this up, switching this up, how y'all gonna convict somebody on that? And them lawyers should have been bringing that stuff up, man. I mean, you said this on the internet because anytime the prosecutor want to use verses and stuff like this and rap lyrics to find these defendants guilty, the lawyer should have been like, well, listen, when you was on your blogging platform, you said this. Now you turn around and you getting in front of the jury and you saying this. Okay? That don't work. And listen, fam, I done been on cases. I'm not just like how these bloggers just come on here. I've been on cases where there was a guy that told on me on a case, and then he switched up his testimony, and the lawyer said he's not credible. He said this in the interrogation room. Now he's saying this. He's not credible. Get that up out of here. And I did beat that case. Okay. The Bloggers Purge show said that's real shit. Shalom, Shalom, Israelite. Okay. I wonder if they tried to hype them up to make money off of them to lock them up. What? Yeah. Okay. Now, let me get that on here on the screen. It's me said, I wonder if they tried to hype them up to make money off of them locking them up. So, family, this is what happened, right? And y'all don't understand how the death of D thing basically messed their whole case up because, see, the call was made to D thing. This would have been their outlet to get the dirt. Because if D thing would have been locked up, it probably would have been a whole different situation. If Von was alive and D thing was alive, it'd have been a whole different situation, okay, with this case. I can guarantee it, okay? Because it would have really, in my opinion, this is allegedly, I ain't saying that he even had anything to do with it, but if that was the case, then you better know that it would have been people getting cleaned up, you know what I'm saying, behind what was going on. So the death of D thing really messed their path up to get the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get the dirt. There's really nothing tying them to dirt. So, and this is what the federal government get for trying to be snaky. You know what I'm saying? And what they're doing. You know what I mean? I don't understand this stuff, man. They want them people so bad, but they can't get to the bag now. Von did. And once again, like I said, there's nothing tying Von to the case. I didn't hear anything about any witnesses saying that Von had 100,000. Those was just rumors. That was never proven. So if that was never proven, then it never happened. And if it wasn't 100,000 on his head, then it wasn't a hit. And I just played you the video from the other Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? That's a FBG member that was in the court that said it wasn't a planned hit, that it was over the baby mama. Come on, Fedz. Throw that shit out. Throw it out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And let me say this. That brother right there also said some real stuff on his channel that he didn't even want to see him locked up or whatever the case. He said he didn't want to see nobody locked up. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that, hey, you know what I'm saying? The justice should be done in the streets. It happened in the streets, then hey, you know what I'm saying? And that's perfectly in line with Tanakh. Okay. So I don't care what nobody talking about. Y'all keep believing in them fairy tales in the New Testament, all that smack and turn the other cheek. The United States is predominantly a Christian nation. Are they turning the other cheek? They don't follow none of that shit. They all around the world robbing and raping and pillaging while you over here believing in lies. Don't bring that shit over here. Okay. I don't follow that fairy tale stuff. And I know it's fairy tale because let me say this. When you go look at the manuscripts, damn all those Bibles and shit. When you look at the manuscripts, where's those translations coming from? Those manuscripts didn't come from the Roman Catholic Church. It didn't come from none of these spots. They bought them in Egypt. Okay. Go subscribe to KOI University. I'm finna bust it wide open. Okay. And none of those manuscripts is any Jesus, none of this stuff that people are believing in. Okay. This is why you got to be locked in because I'm getting ready to bust it wide open, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so right here, the Bloggers Purge Show went on to say, y'all got to know the record labels own prison industrial complex. Exactly. They make money off private prisons, and this is why they push and allow these narratives to be pushed through the music industry to keep our people locked up. Okay, and this is why we got to keep stepping on this thing, man. Okay. It's me said, right, the feds usually don't run into problems like this. I know because see what it is what happened is, you know how niggas is. Okay. We just got to call it how it is. They try to double dip. And I'm speaking about Trenches News because they already said he took the money. Okay. He wanted to get that money from the feds, got the money from the feds, and then try to come on YouTube and monetize off of it and got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Because when that paperwork came out, boy, the streets busted wide open and told you who was informing 1, 2, and all this other stuff. They should have just sat silent. And it probably would have been a different outcome. But they done messed this case up, man. It should be nothing but a mistrial at minimum. Okay. It's a possibility that they may even just, you know what I'm saying? And then as I was listening to the other Hebrew, he was talking about how when the baby mama went up there and they was asking about Oblock and stuff like that she didn't even really want to speak on if it was a gang enterprise or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just madness, man, what the government's trying to do. If they're going to say that this is a street enterprise, then why ain't they through the city not locking up all these other crews and locking everybody up for, you know what I'm saying? So they never proved that. They never show where the money was facilitated to, who went where. They never show none of that. Okay. They brought up some Mickey Mouse stuff and said, oh, well, there was some drug trade. No. This is not coming from an investigation of y'all actually watching Oblock and catching them doing that. This is coming after the fact. Okay. Straight like that. You know what I mean? So, family, I just wanted to speak on this. Like I said, they're deliberating on this right now as I speak. Like I said, we should have a verdict in, but I'm telling y'all first before all these other people come out and say, oh, well, you know, this and that. I'm just telling y'all exactly what it is and what the facts show. There's rules to this stuff. And what that lawyer said, which we just read in the Chicago Sun-Times, is that there's 4 minutes missing on that footage. And there's nowhere in the world that they not, and even if they, like I said, if they find them guilty, you better know they're coming back on the pill on that because there's glitches in that. 4 minutes is a whole lot of time. And then, like the lawyer said, no, my client wasn't driving. It was his cousin. He's ill. He got that same hoodie on that y'all saying that looked like woo, woo, woo. That's who the driver was. You know what I'm saying? So you can't convict nobody on that, man. You got to be for sure. And this is why, and people say, well, why the lawyers, they didn't speak about the murder and say my client did? Because the federal case, they're saying that the murder was caused in furtherance. The major case for them in the federal is the RICO charge. The murder should have just stayed in the state. You know what I'm saying? And if it would have stayed in the state, they definitely would have beat the case. Because number one, Trenches would have never told the police anything because they weren't gonna pay him. You know what I'm saying? Like the feds paid him for that type of information or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't have did what he did. And the other, but I mean, like, come on, man. Y'all already know what it is. Okay. Straight like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the feds just have been caught. They've been caught because the witnesses got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. You got witnesses on the stand got caught lying, switching stories. I mean, like, come on, fam. It's just a dog and pony show, man. You know what I'm saying? They just need to leave that stuff in the streets. And it's just straight like that, man. And this is my commentary on this case. Okay. So I'm gonna keep y'all posted, just like I'm pretty sure the other bloggers around the city gonna keep y'all posted. And when the verdict come in, we'll be back to talk about it. Okay. So you said Ox Warrior says, what are your thoughts on Zion Lex turning messianic? Zion Lex. Not really familiar with this guy. You see who this guy is. To be honest, I'm just pretty much not really sure what to work. But let me just say this right here. All these messianic movements, they might as well just go ahead and scrap them because what people have been taught, Tanakh does not teach and back up. Okay. Let me throw this out here, right? Okay. Let me throw this out here, right? Okay. Since y'all asking me questions about this, right? When you study Tanakh, right? When you study Tanakh, what you guys got to understand that this so-called understanding of some type of Messiah figure that's coming is made up. Tanakh does not teach that, and that's not what's getting ready to happen here in these last days. Okay. What's getting ready to happen is that our understanding of the messianic kingdom and what the Messiah is has been flawed through this New Testament understanding. When Tanakh teaches about the Ruach, and it speaks about the Ruach here in these last days, it's not a person that's coming. It's an anointing that's going that Yah is going to drop on his people, Israel. Okay. No person is coming and all this stuff that has been made up. You heard it here first. Okay. They got to switch their doctrine up. That's not happening. There's nothing in Tanakh that really speaks about, and I ain't gonna say really, that speaks of some person that's coming that's known as some type of Messiah. Okay. And I will teach on this. That's why I said y'all subscribe to KOI University. But what you guys have been taught is over with, man. Get that stuff out of there. That lesson is coming. Okay. There's no Messiah figure and none of that stuff that's coming. See, Tanakh is clear that when we come out of captivity, we're in captivity right now. This is why there's nobody coming to save you, none of that, because when you go study Tanakh, the Israelites have been in captivity since the beginning. The first captivity was the 40 years in the wilderness. That's the first captivity. And when you go into captivity, all of that stuff stopped because you're in captivity. It's like being in jail. So for any Israelite out there that's referencing Deuteronomy 28, then our punishment for what our ancestors did in Jerusalem, we're paying that out now in captivity. When it's time to come out of captivity, he's going to put his Ruach on us in order for us to keep his law and his commandments when he delivers us up out of here. Ain't no Messiah figure coming. All that garbage that's been taught in the church. We got Hebrew Israelite camps that's teaching this stuff. Get out of that New Testament. Okay. Ain't no Messiah figure that's coming. We're in captivity right now. And you can't say you're an Israelite and you're referencing Deuteronomy 28 and then talking about some Messiah coming. No, the Israelites have been going in captivity since the beginning, since they became a nation. And when no Messiah figure sent, they sat in there, they did their time. Just like when you go to jail, you catch a crime, you go to jail, you do your time, and when you get out, that's it. What the hell you need somebody to come save you for when you're already in captivity being punished? We're being punished right now here in this nation. So now we getting dealt a double dose. We got to go in captivity because what's the point? What did we go into captivity for if Jesus died for everybody's sins and everybody is saved? We're still being punished for some. So if he forgives all sin and all this other stuff, then what the hell we in captivity for? Why we just couldn't receive Jesus and just live in Jerusalem and stay there, and the people that didn't believe get sent out of there? It's cap, man. It's cap. Okay, we're in captivity, and we're gonna be in here until our time is up. And when our time is up, Yah's gonna drop his ruach on us. This is why he say, "I'm gonna put my ruach in y'all mind, and y'all gonna keep my commandments." See, what the church has done is took Isaiah 50, where it speaks about where it's really speaking about when they talk about the suffering servant, it's speaking about the nation of Israel. It's not speaking about anybody that's died. It's speaking about the nation of Israel. And he let us know that when the time comes, he's going to put his ruach on his people. That is the understanding of the Messiah. Anything else, tell them get it up out of here. And you heard it first here on Israelite Talk TV. The Israelite camps ain't teaching you that. You heard it here. Big Light told you that. Okay, straight like that. You know what I'm saying? That understanding of that church. That's why I said get out of that New Testament. Ain't no man coming to deliver nobody. I don't care what name y'all putting on it. Yahweh Shai. Jeez, go watch that teaching I did on the names. You know why they got all these names out here for the Messiah? Yeshua, Jesus. Ooh. Because when you look at the ancient manuscripts where they're translating it from, there's no name in the manuscripts. There's no name. So how you running around talking about, oh, the name is Yahweh Shai, Yahushua, Yeshua, Yahshua. Yeah, come on, man. Get that up out of here, man. That's over with, man. And I'm bringing that to Israelite Talk TV. I'm gonna show y'all the manuscripts in real time, and then y'all can just throw those books up out of there. Go burn them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all fake, straight like that. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, shout out to everybody that tapped in. You know what I'm saying? They got me sweating everything in here on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Dropping these troop mines on y'all, man. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, y'all stay safe out there. When the verdict come in, we'll be back to Israelite Talk TV. Shalom.